Good evening, everybody. Today I'm on the venerable 2010 or the first generation 3RRR. Pretty basic as far as electronics go. Basically, there's no electronic aids. So it's as slow as they come. Pretty far cry from what I usually ride, the Generation 3 Hayabusa. But to be honest, pretty nice. It's not a slow motorcycle, but compared to what I usually ride, this is pretty slow. But I think that's the charming thing about it. It's really chill to ride, except for some weird throttle action, because at low speeds it's kind of choppy, really choppy. This exact triple are pretty reliable too, except for the electronic issues and all the, I don't know, the funny oil leaks sometimes, which this motorcycle have. It's leaking a bit of oil from the clutch cover. People say that those things gives it a character. It just pisses me off. You have to fix those issues. Can't keep riding like that. I mean, of course, the clutch cover oil leak, I just leave it there. It's not that big of a deal. I will maybe try to change the gaskets, because I did tighten the bolts, which didn't do anything. Still leaking, and I cannot over tighten because, yeah, I don't want to strip the thread. So yeah, issues like that, kind of I don't know, pisses you off a little bit. I'm getting a bit pissed about all of these issues. Also, the new problem that I've found out that this one has is a bit of a cam chain. So the cam chain tensioner is not tensioning. But the funnier part is that it just goes away after 2 minutes. You let it idle for two minutes, maybe even less, and then the sound just goes away. I don't know why, because it's supposed to be a automatic mechanical adjuster or a cam chain tensioner. So it is mechanical, but it is also automatic. It adjusts automatically. I have no idea why it doesn't just automatically adjust, because it's not like the oil-fed systems where you need a bit of oil pressure to keep the tension. So sometimes once you turn the engine off, the oil pressure drops. And when you start it up again for the next, I'd say 10 seconds, maybe even less, not even 10 seconds, maybe 3-4 seconds. But this one lasts a bit longer, the sound. But again, it's supposed to be a mechanical automatic adjuster, which shouldn't have that. So I am as confused as you are why that is. Otherwise, the ownership experience is pretty pleasant. I like the fact that this makes a really fantastic noise when you get on gas and then the needle goes past 8,000 RPM. Typical triple howl. Love it. That is really beautiful, and it has a bit of pops and bangs, I think, on the overrun. But the issue is it is on stock cans, which are not bad at all. It's a bit muffled compared to the Generation 2, but it still makes a beautiful sound. I like the induction noise on the Generation 2 more, because it's much louder and not as muted as this one, I'd say. But this one looks more beautiful. Seriously, the twin pipes, the chrome twin pipe, the big ass cams, and the round chrome headlights. Look at it, it's just so goddamn beautiful. I mean, I like the fact that when ride past schools, the kids kind of go, I don't know, they're kind of shouting and cheering. And I was quite surprised to see that, because I get that kind of attention on the Hayabusa because it's big and low and long and heavy. It's a substantial motorcycle, but this one is, it can go unnoticed if you're riding really slow, but still it gets the attention. Coming to the fuel efficiency, maybe? I don't know. I mean, I am kind of a person who worry about such things. First of all, I do have range anxiety. I mean, you absolutely don't have to when you are on a motorcycle which is powered by the good old gasoline or benzene. But the issue is, when you are riding on the Autobahn, sometimes fuel stations are pretty far and wide. Believe it or not, it's actually illegal to run out of fuel on the Autobahn. You will get a hefty fine. I mean, not that hefty, but I'd say around 200 euros, I think, which is still pretty expensive. I'm not sure about that, but yeah, they can fine you if you end up running out of fuel on you. Because of that reason, I kind of have a bit of a range anxiety on the street triple. First of all, there is no fuel meter on it. It's just the light which shows up when it's time to refill. I mean, I probably will be able to get 25 kilometers out of it if I ride pretty fast. If I ride slower, maybe even 50. I am not sure because I haven't tested it and I am not planning. It's a bit of a issue there because there is definitely space for a fuel meter right there and they just left it blank. I have no idea why. And Generation 2 Street Ripple have its fuel meter exactly in that space. Anyway, that is something that I am pretty bummed out about. The lack of a fuel meter. Otherwise, this guy is pretty good. If you ride slow, I think you can get maybe around 4.5 liters to the 100 to 100 kilometer. Makes out to be probably around 22-23 kilometers to the liter, which is not bad. I mean, I wouldn't call it like amazing because the Hayabusa, which is twice as heavy, 50-60% heavier, 50% heavier I'd say, that thing almost twice the power, which weighs 100 kilograms or more. I don't know, it's just a fucking heavy as motorcycle. Gets me around the same fuel efficiency figures when I'm riding sanely, slowly. At speed, it's even more crazy because at speed, Hayabusa is more efficient than this. But I'm not complaining because I know smaller engine running faster. 13,500 red line versus what, 11,500, so it spins faster. He's under more stress, so of course it's gonna drink more fuel. But that's the crazy part because when I first experienced it, I was like, huh? Because if I do 150 kilometers an hour or 160, let's say 100 miles an hour on the Hayabusa and continuously do 100 miles an hour on this one, Hayabusa will give me better fuel efficiency figures. Yeah, go figure. I mean, it also has a fairing that helps, definitely. But yeah, so it's kind of like a weird thing to say, but I do prefer Hayabusa more than this one. Of course, this might be fun. I mean, it is definitely fun, especially when you're on it, when you do like a seriously heavy pull on the highway, which I might do. I'm not sure, depending on the traffic conditions. When you're hauling ass, it kind of sounds really nice, but after a while, I'm like, God damn, is it worth it? Yeah, fuel prices are crazy high these days because of the war and all of the other stuff that's going on around the world. I think the fuel tank on this one is like 15 or 16 maybe. Again, not sure. But yeah, definitely geared towards fun. So now let's see how well it tackles the Autobahn speeds. I want this guy to move first. Now let's try. Yeah, good. Quite windy today. I can feel the side winds. I really need to adjust the shift light. It is not fun because of the wind. Yeah, it's pulling to the right, going everywhere. But yeah, I can't sustain those speeds on this one. I was at a piece of cake, but on the 3D, it's a bit of a workout. Oh, yeah, I need new neck muscles. Woo! Calm down, buddy. That was definitely a workout. Oh shit, already did 100 kilometers. That's half a tank gone. So high speeds, sustained high speeds on the Autobahn, well, I don't think I can do it. Cruising is pretty fun. You can do 120, 130 all day long, 140. So when you get, if it's sleepy, you can do a top speed run. If the Autobahn section permits it, of course. Don't want to be too fucking hard. End up in an accident. That is no fun. I thought it would be able to hit 250, but I think that was, I mean, especially not today when it's like that, this windy. You can actually see that over the air, the windmills. It's pretty windy. And that is a heavy side wind. It has pretty decent torque. Like, I was quite surprised. The torque that it has. It's not like a regular 600. Even the Daytona 675 has pretty much, they are really torquey. The 675cc triples, really torquey. Like you can do 50 kilometers an hour in fifth gear, and then open the throttle wide open. I mean, yeah, it just pulls. No protest, nothing. It's more linear. It's kind of linear too. The power delivery. I don't know. Like I prefer if it's a small motorcycle. I mean, not a smaller motorcycle like a 600. I really do like the revs, which this one has. I'm close to 14,000 RPM, which is not bad. But I've never hit the limit on one of these. Even this one, I think I rode it probably around 600, 700 kilometers since I got it. For body use. But for the sake of science, we need to do that one day. Not today. Today, I'm tired. Whoa! Hey! See, that's the Autobahn for you. Chilling at 100 kilometers now, and some guys like going past you at 180. Boom! Now I know how the others feel like. No, I'm just kidding. That was our car. It's a pretty slow, tiny Suzuki. Can't do more than 160, so I'm really used to that. The only time I feel like powerful is when I'm on a motorcycle, because then I can haul ass. And people usually make weight. Because on the Hayabusa, like, if you are on it, let's say you are doing a fourth gear pull, it just hits 230, 240 in the blink of an eye. Like, it's so fucking quick, and that's the issue, because it gains that speed so quick. When somebody, so for example, if you're on the Autobahn, that's quite risky. Like if you're not careful, it can catch you off guard, because you're doing like a heavy pull like that, and then the people on the right lane or on the slow lane, they don't expect something to accelerate that fast, because they see a speck of light from far away and they're thinking, oh, that guy is pretty far away. I'm just gonna do this overtaking maneuver in my own pace. And then the guy blinks, and the moment he changes his lane, I'm already there. And then there is panic, and oh shit, and then immediately you take the right. I mean, it happened to me once, I think, but that's something that you have to watch out for. I never did that again afterwards, because then I usually wait for a empty stretch before I empty stretch as in the right lane and the left lane. Both lanes should be free. Only then do I usually do a pull like that. But now on this one you can be a bit more dumb, because it's slow to gain pace compared to a Hayabusa, of course. Or you can play with the throttle much more on this one than on the Hayabusa. But you have to be really careful. On the Hayabusa you better be careful. If that thing gets to speed, that is not a motorcycle, that's a teleporter. That is why this is kind of more fun. Also, this thing is like really easy on the tires. Hayabusa just spits out rear tires like it's candy. Like it produces so much torque. The moment you go pretty heavy on the throttle, even if you go light on the throttle, because of the weight of the thing, it just eats up the rear tires like crazy. I am lucky if I get 4,000 kilometers out of one rear tire. But this thing, I can beat on it all day. The tire will still look like it's not even hot. This one doesn't destroy tires as much as the Hayabusa does. So I'd say on the long run, I probably will be spending a bit less on consumables. Oh, god damn, the suspension. It is stiff as fuck. It's not supple at all. It's really stiff. Even for stock suspension, it's stiff. I don't understand why people put stiffer springs or better suspension on these things, because it's already pretty good. But I'm pretty lightweight. I am like 65, 66 kilos, so I'm not a heavy person, so that might contribute to that feel, and that's why I say that it might be completely subjective. But yeah, but I'm okay with the suspension. I mean, I'm not gonna go through, let's say, Sicilian country roads where I need suspension which is like more supple. In Germany you don't encounter bad roads. So yeah, I like the straight triple. It's a wonderful change from the Hayabusa, but I still prefer it. Even for daily use, it is big, it's a bit unwieldy. I mean, I wouldn't call it an unwieldy, it's low speeds. The only issue is like in parking lots when you want to turn it, because of how light I am, and I can put both my feet on the ground when I'm sitting on the Hayabusa, so I'm not that short, but it takes just so much effort to turn it. Just pushing around, god damn, you feel it. After pushing around Hayabusa on the parking lot or even my garage, once you start pushing this around, it feels like a bicycle, like that that light. But I don't see it translating to the streets, especially in a place like Germany, where you can't filter, you can't lane split, you have to remain in your lane. So it just doesn't make any sense to get something lighter. The only reason that you'll be getting this is to maybe track it. This will make a pretty good track bike, I'm pretty sure, because of how light it is. You can do that. And the crazy part is that you can also do that on the Hayabusa. Yeah, it is heavy. But did you see that video? Sylvia and Guintoli just hauling ass, passing every 1000cc super sports super bikes on the Hayabusa. He did it on bone stock with stock tires, the Bridgestone Batlax S22s, and he was passing everybody. Like, that thing is fucking crazy. Like, it can do so many things. People kind of get intimidated by the weight of it because it is heavy. It's really heavy, 274 kilos or 264 kilos, so close to 270 kilos. It's of course intimidating. Like, when you sit on it, you feel it. the width, the length, and the weight of it. But the moment you start moving, the moment you let the clutch out and you let it roll, it becomes just a light, really light motorcycle. Slow speed handling is fucking wonderful on that thing. High speed handling, it's a handful. You need to be careful. If you are stupid, if you are really dumb when it comes to the throttle, it will spit you out. It can be a really gentle motorcycle if you go easy on the throttle, and it can be fucking violent if you are stupid on the throttle. The only thing which comes close, or maybe even beats it, I'd say, when it comes to that angry throttle syndrome, it's the ZX-40R. It's 100cc more, it makes more power, more torque. Oh yes, that thing is also violent. But they're kind of similar when dishing out that violence. If you respect the throttle, it's really, really nice. I was quite surprised when I took it to the Twisties the other day. I was visiting family and then I rode with a family member. So he was on a XJ600, the old legend, the dive version. He was hauling ass on that thing, but I was thinking, shit, I don't know these roads and I better be careful. But the thing is that I was still kind of confident on it, because in my mind I was thinking, okay, if the XJ600 diversion, which has an old, I don't know, cradle frame engine, which is like so old school that it produces 60 horsepower from a 600cc inline 4, if it can do that, of course this thing with all its modernity could do that, and it could. It was absolutely fine. It held its line. It actually was faster, surprise surprise, and I had to hold back a little bit because I didn't want to like ride too close to him, and then because sometimes people, when they see somebody riding close behind them, there is a tendency for them to make more mistakes, and I didn't want to do that, so I just held it back a little bit. So I maybe only gave it 70% or 80% of my skill level, and that's when I was convinced that the Hayabusa can be a weapon in the right hands. It can be a corner carving or canyon carving weapon. The street trouble doesn't make much sense to me. It's weird to say, but I am still sticking to my previous assumption or previous conclusion that the Hayabusa is a better bike, and I don't see why that's such a surprise for me. But when you look at the spec sheet, you kind of think, oh, it should be better, right? Something like this, something so light, agile, produces decent power for the weight, should be really good, should be really, or 50-60% better than something like the Hayabusa in the corners, right? Nope, absolutely not. Of course, on the track, you might be able to extract the best out of it, but again, it comes down to skill level. Somebody who can have a lot of fun on this one can absolutely have a lot of fun on the Hayabusa too, and maybe even be even faster. Except when it comes to like really short tracks, maybe where you cannot open up the Hayabusa much with the really tight corners, maybe like a go-kart track. Then yeah, this thing will definitely be faster, because the short wheelbase, the lightweightness or the lack of weight, all of that comes into play when you are in a track which has a lot of technical corners. But sweeping corners which are like moderate in nature, Hayabusa has you covered, and I'm not even kidding. That's why I love that thing so much. The only disadvantage, I'd say, or the advantage that this one has over Hayabusa, is that it is easy on the tires and the chain. Shouldn't destroy them as much or as quick. Otherwise, yeah, I will stick to the Hayabusa.